Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Home is more than a place. It's full of the people and moments that matter most. Providing for loved ones, expanding your horizons, or simply living the life you love. With all you have to protect, choose insurance you can count on, so you can experience more of what you live for. Country Financial. Experience more.
When you fire up Big Ten Plus, you get more game, nonstop, around the clock. More live games you won't see anywhere else. More access to your team, wherever you want, 24/7. More stories.
Unstoppable.
More highlights.
Whoa!
More big-time playmakers. Plus, catch up to 4 games at once, so you'll never miss more shots, spikes, and scores. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on.
From the skyscrapers of the Windy City, just a short drive down Interstate 55, we welcome you inside Kalin Sports in Romeoville for the CSDHL Championship. Logan Kapp alongside Tommy Gilbert here for the matchup today between the St. Louis Sting and the Rockford Hockey Club. We should be in store for a pretty entertaining, very energetic hockey matchup this afternoon. You see the scores from the past couple of days throughout the pool play for this Midget U15-16 Red 2 tournament. And man, both these teams have played really well, Tommy, throughout the course of this tournament and throughout the season thus far.
Yeah, and you hate to limit the chances of those 4, 5, and 6 seeds, the Cyclones, Yellow Jackets, Jaguars, to make some noise this weekend, but the reality is that it was overwhelmingly likely that it was going to be the Sting, the Afton Americans, or Rockford in this championship game. 2 of those 3. Those 3 clubs dominated the regular season to the tune of 42, 42, and 36 points. No other team accumulated more than 14 points in the regular season standings, so it was a little bit of almost a 3-team play-in to get into this championship game today. Should be a very exciting one on tap.
This will be their 5th matchup of the season. They've met 4 times during regular season. They split it 2-2, and that was just 2 of the 4 losses that were handed to the St. Louis Sting in the regular season. Not to be outdone, though, the Rockford Hockey Club only lost 6 games, so neither one of these teams very familiar with losing hockey games, so it should be pretty entertaining today. And both teams, like I said, having a really, really successful tournament thus far. Yesterday, the Rockford Hockey Club had a big 2-1 win against the Afton Americans. And on the other side, St. Louis had a big 4-0 win against the Jaguars. St. Louis, though, that's been kind of a theme throughout these playoffs, Tommy. Only allowing 1 goal through these 3 games played in the first 3 rounds. Goaltending, obviously a strong point. How are they going to bring that into this championship game?
You know, I think they're going to face their toughest test by far today that they've seen this weekend in the Rockford offense. I'm not sure it's a particularly close comparison. This Rockford offense scored 108 goals this season on the power play, almost 30%, came up just shy of that at 29.6, but they're good on special teams. They're really aggressive. They're gonna give the Sting a run for their money on defense, even when you look at that just minuscule number of 23 goals allowed by the Sting in the regular season.
Yeah, they've had a lot of strong points on the offensive side of things, but I think we can go ahead and step out, listen to starting lineups in the national anthem, then we'll be back for period number 1 right here live on Sports Broadcast Solutions Network.
Rockford versus the State. For the lineup, for Rockford.
Rockford's lineup. Number 8, Kyle Singer. Number 11, Carter Dreyer.
We welcome you back inside Kalen Sports in Romeoville. Right now you're looking at their standings throughout playoffs this weekend. Sting and Rockford right there at the top. Rockford with a big upset win against the Afton Americans yesterday, and are looking to get another one here this afternoon against the Sting. And what we talked about a little bit in the pregame show should be a pretty energetic and entertaining matchup for the championship round.
Yeah, and it has a whole lot to do to live up to the standard that was set by today's first game in the 16U Red 1 division. That was a 3-1 lead for the 16U Sting. These, by the way, are the 15U Sting. So much talent in that St. Louis area. They've got two different teams playing in the Red 1 and Red 2 divisions here. So what you saw earlier was their 16Us. This is the 15Us for the Sting. And the 16Us took a really tough loss just a few moments ago to the Southern Illinois IceHawks. A last-minute comeback with 3 power plays over the last 4 minutes of regulation in the first minute of overtime. And Logan, we are just about set for puck drop here.
Yes, we are. To my left in the white jersey for the St. Louis Sting, Richard Whitler is the starting goaltender for Christopher LePage. He's only allowed 1 goal throughout this playoffs this year for the Sting. Through 13 games played in regular season, 10-1 was his record. 7.2 goals against average, .955 save percentage. To my right, starting in net for the Rockford Hockey Club, Owen Hastings. Lone netminder for Rockford. 24 games played, 8-6 is his record, .195 goals against average. .990.6 save percentage with a quick shot out in front there. Was fought off by Whitler, and Rockford with an early opportunity, a slap shot from Jensen Norton as he crossed over the St. Louis blue line, will be easily gloved down by Whitler for an early face-off. 15:03 left to go in the first. Rockford looking to get out to a pretty hot start in their game against Afton yesterday. Kyle Lutschsinger had a goal in the first period to take them up. They're looking to do much of the same as Whitler will see a left wing face-off to his left wing side. In to take it is Kyle Lutschsinger, and it was won momentarily by Rockford, now controlled by the Sting. Dancing through the neutral zone is Tucker Karenbrock, but couldn't cleanly enter the Rockford zone. In the neutral zone, Owen Crowley will fire it in. Goes up off the glass behind Whitler, controlled by the Sting. In his own zone, it was Matt Koffensteiner firing a pass through the neutral zone, and that one gets deflected in. And we'll go all the way down for an icing call. Right on it was Michael Reed, but just couldn't proceed the puck over the goal line. We'll see a face-off to the left wing side of Whitler. 14:32 left to go in period number 1. Sting seem to be scrambling here in the first couple minutes. Haven't really been able to cleanly break the puck out. Picking it up in the neutral zone is Matt Koffensteiner, who will send it in. Right on it was Kitstein, and he'll send it around the goal. On the far side, Dreher. Couldn't get it out. Fought back by Koffensteiner. Now picking it up was Nunes. Ran right into carry of the Sting. Now it's Dijkamper. Sauces it across near side is Kittenstein. He's in over the line, and that one goes up off the glass behind the net. Puck got slapped around in to get it. We're the Sting. Kept it on the point there by Karenbrock, and that one got deflected out in front. Put back attempt, and the Sting will score! That was Mikko Koffensteiner, who was right at the top of the blue paint to hammer it by Owen Hastings. And the Stinger off to an early lead here in the first period. 13:35 left to go in this first, not even 3 minutes into this hockey game. The Sting have found the back of the net. Rockford looks to respond in the neutral zone. It's picked up by Taylor. Goes off the far wing boards and couldn't cleanly get it into the zone. Right back to Taylor it comes, and he'll send it across the ice. Nilsson in his own zone. Slaps a rink-wide pass over to Curley, but right on him for the Sting was Brennan Taylor. Picking it up in the neutral zone is Caleb Neeson. Couldn't quite get anything going in the offensive zone. It deflects up off Tatum Starks and into the bench. After some early offensive drives from Rockford, it is Mikko Kaufensteiner who will find the back of the net. He's had a pretty successful playoffs thus far. He's tied for second in goals, has 2 of those. And now we'll see the game's first power play. Tripping is called by referee Brian Paha. The Rockford Hockey Club will see their first power play of the hockey game. Cole Maynard was the one who took that call. Not the guy the Sting want to be sitting in the penalty box. He was second in goals through this regular season. He's tied for second in goals right now in this playoff run for the Sting. But they've had no problem at all throughout the course of these playoffs. 100% on the penalty kill for the St. Louis Sting. Rockford looked to change that as they set up on the power play in the offensive zone. It's Williams controlling near side point. Snaps a pass across. One-timer is saved by Whitler. And the first high-quality opportunity for Rockford on this power play. Lutschsinger dances by and pass across. It's St. John at the top of the near side circle. Snaps one on goal that flew up off the glass behind the net. Is still Rockford. Lutschsinger. They set up in the overload style. It was sped over to Williams, who fan on the one-timer. And that one goes off a skate and out. Minute gone on this power play. In over the line is St. John. Snaps one on goal, and it was blocked out in front of the net by Havard. It's Kyle Lutschsinger slowing it down in the offensive zone. Snaps a pass across to Logan St. John. A long-range drive is right into the glove of Whitler, and he'll hold on. 11:23 left to go in the first period. 38 more seconds of power play time on the tripping penalty that was assessed to Cole Maynard.
And Logan, you mentioned the Sting 100% on the penalty kill in the playoffs, 87% for the season, ranked second in the division. But Rockford, on the other hand, almost 30% scoring on the power play, led the division during the regular season.
Yeah, they're no strangers to playing on special teams. Rockford, as you said, had a whole bunch of power play goals during the regular season. First in their division. Have had 4 power play goals throughout the course of this playoffs this year. Unsuccessful, though, on this first try against the Sting this afternoon. Anthony Kittenstein, penalty over, back playing 5-on-5 hockey. Fresh out of the bench, the box is Maynard, who was taking all sorts of business from Tatum Starks in the neutral zone. Now it's Crowley. Couldn't get it over the blue line and ended up proceeding the puck over, so that will result in a whistle for offsides. Owen Crowley was out there for the latter half of that power play. Had a power play goal on Friday in the Rockford Hockey Club 6-0 win against the Cyclones. Here now are the Sting over the left wing side of the Rockford blue line. It was stopped by Logan St. John and flipped all the way out. No icing is waved. Ryan Seedick rings it all the way around. Is kept in on the point momentarily there by Jensen Norton, but decides to bring it back. Here now motoring through the neutral zone was Hucker. Or Dijkamper rather, but can't cleanly enter. Face off just outside the Rockford blue line. 9:57 left to go in the first period. In to take the draw for Rockford, Ian Kearley will win it back. But the Sting force a turnover. In on the puck is Dijkamper. Centering pass, and that was headed aside with a big butterfly save by Owen Hastings. Shot in the slot, could not be controlled. Logan St. John was right there for Rockford, and he pans that one over into the far side corner. It's St. John now near side. Looks to flip it out, has a beautiful saucer pass. That will feed Howard ahead. He's taken down. We got a penalty coming up now to the Sting. Beautiful breakout there by Rockford to send Nikolai Howard into the zone, but he was taken down on the far side half wall. And now the Rockford Hockey Club will see their second power play opportunity of this hockey game. 9:22 left to go in the first period. That was Brennan Taylor who took that penalty. Rockford back to work on the power play. An early shot is soaked up by Whitler. We'll try again. Face off to the left wing side of Richard Whitler. Won by the Sting and sent the length of the ice. Big early clear for the Sting. 87.2% on the penalty kill through the regular season were the Sting. That was second in their division. And that one gets cleared out as St. John in his own zone. Far side, Kearley right back to St. John. He's in over the left wing side of the Sting blue line. Now it's Williams controlling in the middle. Toe drag, it's Williams near side, centering pass, and it couldn't be knocked down by Kyle Lutschsinger. It's St. John on the point. Backhands that one down. And it was Kearley who was taken down right in the slot there. But it's kept in. Williams near side half wall. Drags it to his backhand. It's Williams. Centering pass is saved by Whitler. Right on the doorstep was Whitler. And now a pile up. Emotions running high early in the first period. As we approach the halfway point, we've been playing a lot of hockey in the St. Louis Sting zone, but Rockford just hasn't been able to convert on any of these opportunities. And on Championship Sunday here in Romeoville, both teams with a lot to play for, as it looks like it was Kearley who was assessed a penalty. Coaches for Rockford go palms up on the bench, but we will go 4-on-4. Kearley was right at the center of that kerfuffle that was right at the mouth of the goal for the Sting. So he'll see the inside of the penalty box for the next 2 minutes. 8:18 left to go in the first period. Face off to the right wing side of Owen Hastings. That was Christopher LePage, who was standing on the dasher board on the bench for the Sting. He was demanding an explanation from the referee, but obviously got it.
Yeah, and what he was actually trying to point out there was that it was 4-on-4, but Rockford had 5 guys on the ice, and they were about to drop the puck with an extra man on the ice.
Makes sense. Can understand his irritation.
I'd be irritated myself, Logan. I would.
Either way, we'll go 4-on-4 for about the next 30 seconds, then an abbreviated power play for the Sting. It's Starks. Backhands it in. It's Nilsson. Wilson will pick it up in stride. His slap shot goes off the outside of the glove of Whitler. A lot of open ice out there in this 4-on-4 opportunity. Puck squirted out front. Now it's controlled by Norton on the point. On the far side, that butterfly save made by Whitler. Still controlling is Rockford. It's Stark's near side corner. Penalty over. It's the Sting to the power play. Faza will send it across. In his own zone, Norton try to break out pass, but Sting force a turnover. Swatted at by Mikko Kaufensteiner. Now the Sting will control in the offensive zone. On the point, it's McKenna. And his shot was saved by Hastings, who was down in the butterfly. 35 more seconds of power play time for the Sting. Finally, some offensive zone time for the St. Louis Sting, who I'm sure are used to sitting in the driver's seat for a lot of the hockey games that they've been playing all season long. But throughout this first period, it's been Rockford dictating pace of play. The Sting now in the offensive zone. Gets sent down low, where it's Maynard controlling far side half wall. They'll set it up on the power play. Still 5 more seconds for them. Down low, Maynard walks it in, shoots, and it was saved by Hastings. Penalty over. We're back playing 5-on-5 hockey. Glove down on the center dot, picked up in stride by Hoover, but it's forced into the near side corner where a big collision will take place. And we got another penalty coming up to Rockford. Roughing is the call on John Williams. John Williams having a power play goal the last time these two teams met up in the second period will now put his team down for 2 minutes as that point shot got deflected out in front of the net by Colton Dijkamper. And the ring around attempt went right out of play. 5:49 left to go in the first period. 1:49 still left on the power play for the St. Louis Sting. Talked a little bit earlier about the Sting's ability to kill off penalties. They were second in the standings after the regular season. Rockford was third, 86.7% on the kill throughout the regular season. As off the draw, it's controlled by the Sting. Point shot, hit a body out in front. That was Caleb Nilsson who was right there. And it ends up being cleared all the way down by Nilsson. Pass was behind Colton Dijkamper, and that'll once again allow Nilsson to send it the length of the ice. Out to play it was Whitler, who sent it right up into the protective netting and out of play. Gotta love to see your goaltender get active. And how active he has been all season. 7 shutouts for Richard Whitler in regular season play. Has been a force in net for the Sting all season. Minute 15 still left of power play time for the Sting. Here's Reed motoring in over the right wing side of the Rockford blue line. He'll go for a skate down behind the net. It's still Reed with the puck. To the point it goes, walks, fires, deflected out in front and went off the side of the cage. It's still the Sting with the puck. Karen Brock kept it in, couldn't quite keep it in the second try. And now near side. An almost giveaway there. Right there sniffing around was Kyle Lutschsinger, who's doing an excellent job applying the forecheck on this penalty kill. A big hit there by Lutschsinger, and he'll up taking a penalty right in front of the referee. Interference is the call, and for the next 28 seconds, the Sting will have a 5-on-3 power play. Kyle Lutzinger first in goals and points this playoff run. 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points in 3 games played the past couple days here in Romeoville. And now the Sting will go to work on the power play. Snap down far side. Dada, quick shot is saved by Hastings. It's still the Sting, a slap shot, and they will score! On the power play, Jackson Hucker will find the back of the net. And this game is tied with 4:14 left to go in the first period. Finally able to find some sort of response. Second half of this first period, the Sting have come out of their shell a little bit, finding some opportunities in the offensive zone, and just about 13 minutes into this hockey game, they finally are able to convert. Moving with pace over the line was Kopfensteiner. His shot was saved. My mistake, the Sting are up by 2. It was Kopfensteiner who had the first one, and Jackson Hucker with the second. And it's now the Sting in their own zone. A big collision there, far side corner. Activating from the point is Jensen Norton. Now it's St. John, slaps one on goal that was blocked out in front of the net. Pass intended for Beckett McDonald was out of his reach. Sent across by Ian Kierley, back to receive in his own zone is Beckett McDonald. His pass got snapped up to Matthew Kopfensteiner, who couldn't get it past Rockford defense, and so that'll result in it just getting dumped in. Penalty over, 5-on-5 hockey, successful power play at that. Stinger up by 2. Peyton Starks in his own zone, across it goes to St. John, who will fire it back across. It's Wilson now over the right wing side of the Sting line. Shouldered off the puck right there by Miles Carey, who will continue it around his own goal. That was Dijkamper who couldn't get it out. Now it's Norton on the top of the point. Couldn't quite get it on goal. Now here come the Sting. Dijkamper. Teammates are making a line change. He's into the zone on his backhand. His shoulder right off the puck by Caleb Nilsson. And now Nilsson will battle away behind the net with Dijkamper, and a penalty coming up to the Sting. It was Colton Dijkamper who took that call behind the Rockford goal. And now Rockford will get their second opportunity on the power play. One controlled by Rockford on the far side is Hoover. A wrist shot was met with a big butterfly save by Richard Whitler, and he'll hold on. Minute 28 left to go in the first period. Face off to the left wing side of Whitler. And that one gets cleared all the way out. has been pretty even as this game has gone on. As that's Williams forcing it in on the near side. Dasher boards. Ended up getting cleared the length of the ice there by Kason Hoyt. Back to get it is St. John. Less than a minute left to go in the first. He'll sashay through the neutral zone. He's in over the Sting line. Wines fires it. And that shot was about 3 feet to the left of the net. And that allows the Sting to clear it the length of the ice once again. Back in his own zone, it's Williams. Power play goal yesterday for John Williams. That one gets sent across. It's Kearley into the zone on his forehand. Kearley centering pass, and crashing into the goaltender was John Williams. Was taken down there out in front of the net by Ian Havard. And it'll be interesting to see where this ensuing face-off is, with just under 30 seconds left to go in the first. Face-off will stay inside the left wing dot of Richard Whitler. One in control into the corner by the Sting. On the point, a slap shot from Mason Hoover is saved by Whitler, and the putback try from Williams was sent wide. Now behind the net, Lutschsinger. To the point it goes. It was Hoover. Snapshot hit traffic out in front. 10 seconds left in the first period. Kept in by Rockford. A sharp angle drive from Williams was sent wide. Now it's Kearley. Will run out of time. And after 16 minutes of hockey, the St. Louis Sting will take a 2-0 lead into the first intermission. Not what I would have expected after the first couple minutes of this first period, Tommy.
Certainly not, and Rockford's outshot the Sting 12-9 thus far. Rockford has been all over Sting goalie Richard Whitler, who has proved an untenable wall so far back there in net. But a really, really even first period, despite the fact that we're looking at a 2-0 score.
Yeah, Rockford controlled pace of play for most of that period. The Sting able to sneak a couple by Owen Hastings, one of those on the power play. After a couple untimely penalties, you can't let a team like the St. Louis Sting get any additional opportunities on the power play.
You really can't, and I do think, again, this is two different teams, but the same organization. I do think you've got some of the Sting players down there going, we just watched our friends on the U16 team get out to a big lead, hold a lead the entire game, and then lose it in the last 8 seconds. 2-0, 3-0, 5-0. There's no lead they're going to be satisfied with here. They're going to be very, very aggressive, I think, on offense throughout this next two periods. There's no sitting back on a 2 or 3 goal lead for them.
Foot firmly pressed down on the gas pedal for the St. Louis Sting as we prepare for period number 2. We will go 8 minutes, then a horn will sound for an ice cut, a little bit different than what you're used to. Halftime in hockey. Gotta love it.
Oh, you certainly do. And for those who haven't been with us on many of our telecasts this weekend, I know we've probably got some family members tuned in for the championship who weren't watching yesterday. We will leave a 16-minute clock on your score bug on the screen. We think that's by far the easiest way to follow the game and know where we're at. Just know that at 8 minutes, it's essentially a hard stop here in the arena for a break.
The Sting will have to kill off about 10 more seconds of Colton Dijkkamper's penalty. They're able to do that without a problem. Another unsuccessful power play attempt for the Rockford Hockey Club. Still looking to find the back of the net for the first time. And now we'll see a face-off in Rockford's end. 7:27 left to go in the first half of period 2. Face-off sent into the corner. It was St. John there. In to support him was Norton. but he turned it over. A sharp angle shot, hit traffic out in front. Now Lutzinger sends it up the far wing boards, and it is the Sting right back in. A quick snapshot as Hoyt got in over the line, but that one's fought off and covered up by Hastings. One has to think that fatigue begins to be a factor for these playoffs. This is their 4th game in 4 days for each of these hockey clubs. What ends up being the 12th period of hockey in the past couple days. It's McDonald controlling near side corner. Centering pass was intended right in the slot there, but couldn't quite be found. That was Kafaza who was there for the Sting. Now it's Hoyt slapping it in. Back to receive in his own zone is St. John. Near side corner will fling it all the way out. Breaking fast there was Starks, but it gets sent back in Rockford zone. Kearley there was intercepted by Taylor, and he'll backhand it in this time. Logan St. John back to get it. Pass was intended for Wilson there. It went off a stick. No icing will be called. Back to receive is Taylor in his own zone. Turn it over to Wilson. Centering passes paddled aside by Whitler. And now the Sting. Mikko Koppensteiner centered around his own net. Back to receive Colton Dijkkamfer. They turn it over. St. John now in the offensive zone. It gets chopped out by Koppensteiner. Now they're in over the right wing side of the Rockford zone. A turnaround one-time attempt there from Matthew Koppensteiner was unsuccessful. Now it's Wilson motoring back the other way. Quick snapshot fought off by Whitler. Rebound, Whitler way out on top of the crease. Can't find it. And 2, 3, 4 tries unsuccessful. And now a penalty coming up to the Sting. Taden Starks obviously very upset for the Rockford Hockey Club, unable to put the puck into the 4x6 opening, but now another try for Rockford on the power play. It will be Ian Havard who took that call. 5:19 left to go in the second. 2 minutes of power play time up on the board for the Rockford Hockey Club. That faceoff was won forward by Kyle Lutzinger. He'll control it near side now. To the point it goes. It's Hoover. Lutzinger couldn't receive the pass back attempt, and that one got deflected out. If you're Rockford, I'd like to see some more shots here on the power play. They've been working the puck a lot on the outside and really haven't challenged Whitler too much here on the power play for any of their tries this hockey game. As another one goes by the wayside there. Here motoring into the zone was Maynard, and his centering pass could not be found in the middle of the ice. It's Kearley. Left it for Lutzinger. He'll slowly work it in over the left wing side of the Sting line, and he'll send it around. It's Williams letting it go to the point where it's Hoover. Slap shot, patted out by Whitler, still kept in by Hoover. Hoover still. Pass it across. One-timer is sent wide. 51 seconds left of power play time. As that one gets cleared all the way down, Sting will get a line change. In the neutral zone, it's John Williams. Hesitates. Has it poked right off his stick. Here come the Sting. Into the zone is Michael Reed, and way out to play it was Owen Hastings. What a try there for the Sting on the penalty kill. One shorthanded goal this year for the Sting during the regular season play. 15 more seconds of power play time for Rockford. That was Caleb Nilsson who dragged and fired, but another easy save there for Richard Whitler. who will hold on to it. 3:28 left to go in this first half of period 2. 9 more seconds of power play time for Rockford. This time face off to the right wing side of Whitler. Controlled by St. John near side. Will snap one on goal. That goes right into the catching glove of Whitler, who once again will freeze it. Face off to Whitler's left wing side now. Kason Hoyt in there to take it. He had 2 goals in the third period the last time these two teams met up during the regular season. Now it's Karen Brock. Tried a shot from the top of the far side circle, but it went right into the shin pad of Norton. It's still the Sting. The one-timer went off the skate of Logan St. John and by the side of the goal. Dreyer tries to snap it in. It was taken away, though, by Kason Hoyt. Now Norton will fire it in. 2:42 left to go in the first period, or the second period, first half. Norton with a traffic jam on the far side. It's pulled out of there by Hoyt. And Norton on the back check will send it back behind his own goal. Took a big shoulder there from Tucker Karen Brock. Kept it on the point. A quick snapshot was deflected out in front and smacked out of the air there by Logan St. John. And it looks like offsetting penalties will be assessed. There was a couple players tangled up there in front of Owen Hastings. It will be 5-on-5 as 2 minutes roughing aside to Tucker Karen Brock for the Sting and Jensen Norton for the Rockford Hockey Club. Face off to the left wing side of Owen Hastings. As we get that sorted out, in to take it for Rockford, Ian Kearley. He controlled it off the draw. And now galloping through the neutral zone was Nikolai Howard. Sends it in behind the Sting net. Far side McDonald couldn't get it out. A snapshot is sent just wide. And it gets slapped up the near side wall by the Sting. And we'll end up going all the way down over the goal line for an icing call. Minute 46 left to go in the second period, or the first half of the second period. Ian Kearley out there to take this draw. Has had a pretty successful playoff run this year. 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points in 3 games for Ian Kearley. But now it's the Sting. Moving with pace through the neutral zone was Jackson Hucker. And his shot is easily handled by Hastings. Jackson Hucker first in goals in the playoffs for this Sting hockey team. Gets his 4th of the playoffs today. 9 goals through the regular season. So just about half his goal total for the regular season. And Jackson Hucker got the past couple days here during the playoffs. Excellent run for Hucker and the Sting as that one gets slapped in by Mikko Koffensteiner. John Williams will touch it out. Finds Kyle Lutzinger in the neutral zone, but he's closed right off the puck by Matthew Koffensteiner. Crowley on the center red line will poke it back in. But now the Sting control. Turned over to John Williams, who will ring it around the Sting net. Now with pace through the neutral zone, it was Matthew Koffensteiner. Back the other way, John Williams. A wrist shot gets waffle boarded aside by Whitler. And the Sting can't clear it. In the offensive zone, it's Nielsen. To the point it goes, and that snapshot from Taden Starks hit a stick and goes up into the protective netting, causing a stoppage of play. 21.9 left to go in this second period. Face off to the left wing side of Richard Whitler. Rockford gets the correct number of skaters back on the ice. That one was momentarily kept in on the point. Now motoring in are the Sting. It was Cole Maynard who had the puck in the middle of the ice, but ended up falling down on the play. Now Logan St. John fires it in, and that will just about run out the clock here in the first half of the second period. Pretty good first half of period 2. Pretty back and forth action both ways, really. Sting, with not the hottest start to this hockey game, will carry a 2-goal lead into halftime. What do we think of their play so far, Tommy?
You know, a little unusual in general, if you're at all familiar with hockey, to see a 19-10 discrepancy in shots on goal in favor of a team that's down 2-0. And I think part of that you can chalk up to quality of shots. And you hit on that a little bit in the early going. But Richard Whitler's done a great job in goal. But the fact is also 19 of those shots haven't been real high-quality scoring opportunities. I think the Sting have had better opportunities, whereas Rockford has had more.
Yeah, and I talked about it a little bit, too. Even on the power play, Rockford's still just not getting the high-quality shots that we like to see. We're not seeing traffic out in front, and Whitler really hasn't had to make that many saves on the power play either. So a lot to talk about, I'm sure, for the Rockford Hockey Club in this halftime intermission. We'll step out and we'll be back for the second half of period 2 in just a couple minutes. You're watching Sports Broadcast Solutions Network live here on YouTube.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight,
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith. Well, my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and it's a goal! So 3-3, the power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Home is more than a place. It's full of the people and moments that matter most. Providing for loved ones, expanding your horizons, or simply living the life you love. With all you have to protect, choose insurance you can count on, so you can experience more of what you live for. Country Financial. Experience more.
When you fire up Big Ten Plus, you get more game, non-stop, around the clock. More live games you won't see anywhere else. More access to your team, wherever you want, 24/7. More stories.
Unstoppable.
More highlights. More big-time playmakers. Plus, catch up to 4 games at once, so you'll never miss more shots, spikes, and scores. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on.
Before you know it, you'll know my name and how to pronounce it.
You will know the meaning of ขอบคุณค่ะ
Before you know it, you'll call me son.
You call me daughter.
You call me brother.
You call us sister. Your family will make a difference in how America is perceived and what America stands for. And we invite you to welcome an exchange student like me to your home and your family.
For over 70 years, AFS USA has brought exchange students from around the world to study in the U.S. and live with an American family for a school year, semester, or 6 to 12 weeks. Before you know it, you'll be a proud AFS citizen. Visit afsusa.com.
We welcome you back to Canlan Sports here in Romeoville. Logan Cap handling play-by-play duties. Zach Stolpa on our camera working production. I am Tommy Gilbert here to walk you through the next 25 and a half minutes of our Midget U15-16 Red 2 championship game. As Logan and I talked about before the break, an interesting first half of play. Rockford out shooting the Sting 19-10, but the Sting with many better scoring chances that have shown through in that 2-0 advantage in goals, which in the end is really the only thing that counts.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no surprise at all that they've scored 12 goals throughout these playoffs. They started off not the best. They were playing a lot of hockey in their defensive zone, but figured it out about halfway through that first period. And since then, they've been really dictating pace of play. And not too many more negative things I have to say about that. I mean, they just have really turned things around after that slow start.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look back over the last few days at how we got to this point, as we said during the regular season, for those of you who may have tuned in a little late, Sting, Afton, and Rockford by far the top three teams in the division, 21 points ahead of the fourth place team in the Cyclones. And that certainly did show through this weekend. 6 points for the Sting and Rockford to top the table. Sting are the home team here. St. Louis with a goal differential of 11 to the good. Rockford at +8. That gave them the ability to choose their jersey today. But in the end, that's really the only thing that matters here when you're playing on neutral ice, is a little bit of you can pick your jersey if you're superstitious advantage, and that's about it.
Well, you know what they say, I am not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. So, but that graphic we're looking at right now is a little bit in contradiction to what we saw after the regular season. It was Sting, Afton, and then Rockford as they finished after that regular season. Through 24 games played, the Sting with 20 wins, Afton also with 20 wins. So a little bit of an upset that we're seeing Rockford in this championship game. Obviously, they played each other yesterday, and Rockford coming away with a big 2-1 win against the Americans. But I mean, if you're Rockford, you got to be feeling good after that big win yesterday.
Yeah, you certainly do, and I don't think you're real discouraged at all right now, being down 2-0. I think you feel like you're right in this game despite a 2-goal deficit, and it feels like it was less than an hour and a half ago that Keegan and I were sitting here talking about a 2-goal deficit being something that could absolutely be overcome even those last couple minutes of a game, and sure enough, that did happen. And Logan, we are just about ready to resume here with the second half of the second period. Take it away.
It's a beautiful thing. Hockey is 3 periods, and we get to play all 3 of them today on Championship Sunday here at Canlan Sports in Romeoville. We are back for the second half after the much anticipated halftime in this championship game between the St. Louis Sting and Rockford Hockey Club. Here's Sparks motoring in over the left wing side of the Sting line. Now Nilsson in the middle, couldn't fire it. Crowley on the point, sent a pass across, but Nilsson wasn't there. That one gets scooped out, slapped out by Starks, and right back in his own zone is Brennan Taylor. Clearing attempts unsuccessful. Right there was Ian Kearley to keep it in. Now moving with pace is Michael Reed. He's in on his backhand to the Rockford zone, and an excellent defensive play there in his own zone by Caleb Nilsson to keep Reed to the outside and tie him all up, not really allow him to get a clean shot on goal. That try from Wilson was turned aside by Whitler. Now moving with pace in over the left wing side rather of the Rockford line was Terry rather. Now a battle ensues in the near side corner. Squirts out and sent around the net by Caleb Nilsson. And that one will get shin padded out and backhanded right back in by Sam Macheka. High stick is ruled by the referee, who was standing right in the neutral zone, and a collision after the whistle there. Falling down was John Williams. And I'm sure if you're Thomas Breitfuss and the Rockford Hockey Club, you're looking to John Williams as someone who can help get you on the board in this hockey game. Had a power play goal yesterday, and that point shot is soaked up by Whitler. But John Williams' power play goal yesterday in their win against the Afton Americans had a power play goal in the second period the last time these two teams met. That was all the way back in November, towards the end of November. And John Williams also finished the regular season tied for first in goals, and he was second in points. So obviously a leader for this Rockford Hockey Club is John Williams. That one gets lofted in on goal and fielded nicely by Richard Whitler, who didn't like what he saw, so he'll hold on to it. 5:50 left to go in the second half of this second period. Face off to the left wing side of Whitler. In to take it, Kyle Lutschsinger for the Rockford Hockey Club. Controlled and backhanded on goal by Williams, and once again handled by Whitler. A lot of ice time so far this game for John Williams and Kyle Lutschsinger. That one's kept in on the point there by Logan St. John, and it got sent across the middle, but all tied up in front of the net was Lutschsinger. Picking it up near side corner, Matthew Kopfensteiner, who will fling it around the net. On the far side, St. John controls it down low. Working hard in the offensive zone was Logan St. John. And once again kept in by Norton on the point. Far side is Hoover. Couldn't handle it, and that one will get sauced up and out. Icing is waved off. Norton will have to go back and get it. That'll allow the Sting to get a line change. It's Hoover on the left wing boards, coming out of his own zone. Now it's Lutschsinger in over the Sting line. Stick handles around a few, and his putback try ended up getting blocked. Near side chopped at by Norton. And now with pace, here come the Sting. It was Hoyt, whose centering pass was intended for Beckett McDonald, but he just couldn't get a stick on it. Now going back the other way is St. John. Wine fires. Save is made by Richard Whitler. A rink-wide pass will be caught by Norton, negating the icing call. Kept in by McDonald on the point. Into the far side corner, it's sent, intended for Kason Hoyt, but it was just out of his reach. Now back in the neutral zone, the Sting will send it in. Jensen Norton tried to sauce a hot pass across to Hampton. It was just a little bit too hot for him to handle. Now it's Reed. Backhands a pass up to Sedic. And that one got paddled aside by Hastings. Here now is Hucker. Shoots, and that one got blocked out in front by Nilsson, who was in perfect position to help out his netminder. Now working hard over the blue line was Dreyer, but in swoops Norton to pick up the puck. Had it poked off his stick, and it ended up getting sent all the way down by Caleb Nilsson. Fired up the near side glass, where it was Owen Crowley there for Rockford to try and keep it in, but ended up bouncing by. Battle now, Rockford zone. Slapped that by Crowley. Back to support him was Nicholas Wilson. Nilsson snaps a pass up the near side, well intended for Curley, but it's about 4 feet out of his reach, so that will result in an icing call. 2:39 left in the second half of period 2. Face off to the right wing side of Owen Hastings in the Rockford zone.
In these first 5 minutes after the long intermission, the one that we get, it's been a little bit more of the same for the Rockford offense, don't you think? Maybe a couple of higher percentage scoring chances generated, but not a ton of real difficult chances for Whitler and net.
No, not at all, and that has to be a point of emphasis for this Rockford hockey team for the rest of this hockey game. You can't score if you don't put the puck on goal and make the goalie work for it. In the offensive zone right there was Ian Curley, but he lost the race. It ends up coming back to him, though. Curley near side corner. Has a centering pass, one-timer by Starks. Ended up hitting a stick and flying over the top of the goal. Talk about high-quality chances. There was one right there for Rockford. Near side corner, penalty coming up now to the Sting. On the far side, St. John walks it in, shoots, and a save is made by Whitler, and he will hold on. Power play now to Rockford.
Right as we said it, Logan, there's our quality chances. A couple of really good scoring opportunities for Rockford, and they're going to have another one here now in the form of the man advantage.
Yeah, unable to convert on their opportunities they've had thus far in this hockey game. But Ian Hayward will take a seat. 2 minutes of power play time up on the board for Rockford. Puck is dropped, controlled by Rockford. Centering pass was intended for Curley, but he was all tied up in the slot. Now it's the Sting motoring back the other way. In over the zone is Kaffensteiner, or Dijkkamper rather. But either way, his shot went by the side of the goal. Hoover dangles around one. He can't quite pull it to the middle. On the point, a one-timer from St. John. Hit traffic. It's still St. John now below the goal. Hesitating to the point it goes. William backing up. Has a shot. I think he was looking for the skate of Curley, but just couldn't hit it. Now on the point once again, it's Williams with a drive that was sent wide. Minute 5 left to go in the second half of period 2. Kept in on the point there by Hoover. Rockford setting it up. Another odd man break for the Sting on the penalty kill. They're into the zone, 2-on-1. Snapshot was saved by Hastings. And it was Colton Dijkkamper who was right there, but just couldn't find the rebound putback attempt. 35 seconds left to go in this period. That one got speared up at St. John and over the line. Cuts it to the middle. St. John, and now it's Hoover. St. John far side, deflected out in front of the goal. And a big save made by Richard Whitler. Had to slide from right to left. And behind the play, it was Kyle Lutschsinger who took the stick of Richard Whitler and flung it up into the protective netting. And it will be Lutschsinger who will take a seat. One of the more rare penalties being assessed. Interference is called on Lutschsinger for taking Richard Whitler's stick and flinging it up into the netting. And that'll conclude the Rockford power play. It looked like there was a collision that was next to the Sting net. And obviously, Kyle Lutschsinger didn't like what was going on or what Whitler had to say to him. Sent the stick flying. Second time this hockey game, we will go 4-on-4, 13.6 seconds left to go. Face off to the right wing side of Owen Hastings. Puck drop controlled by Rockford. It's sent out. Here moving with pace over the line was Mason Hoover. But now Mikko Kaufensteiner works the puck in on his forehand, ends up pushing it into the corner, and Kaufensteiner will tangle up near side corner. That was Taden Starks, who was giving Mikko Kaufensteiner all sorts of grief as he was working the puck in the offensive zone, and one has to think, Tommy, a few more penalties will be assessed.
Yeah, I think we can see that coming from a mile away up here, Logan. And what was not a terribly physical game through the first 20 or 25 minutes has definitely swung that way here the last 5 to 7 minutes of action. You throw back to our first game here, the Red One, a couple hours ago. I believe it took us till early in the third period to have a single power play. That has not been the case in this game here.
No, a lot of special teams work, both sides. And that is going to be the biggest factor as we move into the third period here in this championship hockey game. Well, it'll be which team can keep their emotions in check, keep their foot down on the gas pedal, create time and space in the offensive zone, and stay out of the penalty box has got to be number one in most important things for both these teams.
Yeah, and speaking of staying out of the penalty box, regardless of if there are any more penalties assessed from that little altercation as the clock ran out, we'll be starting with some chaos here. You've got 11 seconds left on the Sting penalty. You've got 1:47 then on the Rockford penalty. So 11 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey and then a Rockford power play.
It's a scorekeeper's nightmare here, Tommy. Ray Rizzuko doing a great job down there trying to keep track of all this madness in the score box. But as we move into this third, what are you thinking if you're the Rockford Hockey Club here, Tommy?
I'm thinking I really liked the last 3 minutes, and they were able to finally generate a couple of high percentage chances. Unfortunately for Rockford, couldn't find the back of the net, but those are the kind of chances that if you're able to come up with 4, 5, 6 more of them here over the last 16 minutes, you're going to score a goal or two.
Absolutely. We will start with two guys in the penalty box aside, 4-on-4. It looks like it was Kaufensteiner and Starks who got the offsetting penalties right there at the end of period number 2. First penalty to the Sting is over. They will have about 1.5 minutes of power play time now. It's Williams in the neutral zone. And the puck taken right off his stick by Connor Terry, who ends up sending around his own goal. Pass intended for Maynard through the neutral zone was unsuccessful. Now he's got it and we'll circle back. Slapped up the far side wall, goes off the referee. That'll force Terry back. Sauces a pass across to Sedic. Now picking up the puck is Maynard. A centering pass, drive off the crossbar. A quality chance on the power play for the St. Louis Sting. Doesn't even count as a shot on goal. And if you're Owen Hastings, you're turning around, giving the crossbar a big thank you.
Yeah, as much as we talk about 2-0 being very manageable for a team that's thrown 27 shots on net, 3-0 gets a little different, so the crossbar doing some great work there.
3 goals, the worst lead in hockey. That's not what we have here. Sting still up by 2 as they go to work on the power play. A pass that was intended for Carey near side was blocked. Now it's Maynard on the far side half wall. Gets worked down low. It's Terry now. Controlling. Terry to the near side. Carey will get it back. It's Carey, and his putback try ended up getting blocked and sticked out. Here comes Connor Terry, motoring in over the right wing side of the Rockford blue line on his backhand. He'll work it down below the net. Connor Terry Spin around pass, penalty to Rockford is over. We're back playing 5-on-5 hockey. In his own zone, it's Nilsson for Rockford who will send it out. Pass up to Terry. Ended up just sticking it in, and that one will get slapped all the way down. No icing is whistle. It went off a body in the neutral zone. As that was Nikolai Howard, who ended up touching it up for offside. 13:44 left to go in this third period. Sting still up by 2. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Tommy did anyway, but the Sting just had to watch their friends in the game before lose and come in second place in that championship hockey game. And you got to think that had a little bit of effect on their morale as they watched Southern Illinois raise the championship banner. They're looking to do that for the Sting this game.
Yeah, there's tough losses, Logan, and then there's whatever that was. And a spectacular comeback by Southern Illinois at the end of that Red 1 game earlier. But you know the Sting would desperately love to bring a first-place banner back south with them tonight.
Absolutely. They got 13 minutes to hold off Rockford in this third period as they work the puck into the offensive zone. Now, that was controlled near side by Karen Brock, but ends up getting sent around the net. Karen Brock, backhand pass intended for Reed. Now on the far side is Nunez. Slaps it in behind the Sting net and will come off for a line change. It's Anthony Kittenstein. Here now is Matthew Koffensteiner. Pass across is fanned on. I think was looking for Koffensteiner, was breaking towards the net. Accidental recovery. It's the Sting in the offensive zone, and that shot by Mikko Koffensteiner was handled by Owen Hastings. And a beautiful offensive zone forced turnover there for the St. Louis Sting. Have done a good job of that all game long. Forcing turnovers in the offensive zone, keeping their foot pressed down on the gas pedal. Now it's Kyle Lutzinger. Sauces it across into the zone. Was Williams. But he just couldn't get anything going. Dijkkamfer works the puck into the slot. It's picked up and a shot is saved by Hastings. And right on the doorstep once again was Mikko Koffensteiner. Had the first goal way back in the first period for the Sting. Unable to get another one right there. Was talking to Mikko and Matthew's dad before this hockey game started, and the twins are back together playing again, which is really great to see. He was really happy about that. Matthew was playing for the Knights last year and ended up coming back and wanted to play with his brother. And what a duo they've been for the Sting all season long, combining for 30 points between the two of them during the regular season. And Mikko Koffensteiner obviously finding the back of the net once already today. Hayward's into the zone, working it in on Norton. That one gets slapped back around by Macheka. Hayward had his pass intercepted by Lutzinger. And right on Lutzinger there was Cole Maynard. Got to know that one of the top producers for this Rockford Hockey Club has been Lutzinger, and every time he gets the puck, he's got about 2 or 3 Sting players right on him, and that had to be talked about by Christopher LePage in their pregame meeting. Face-off outside the Rockford bench. 10.5 minutes just about left to go in the third period. Controlled off the draw by the Sting, backhanded up by Seeding. Back is Hoyt. Snaps a pass across to Maynard. Tries to dangle it past Kierley, but was unable to. Now Starks has a couple Sting players right on him, and a penalty coming up to the St. Louis Sting. Nilsson in the offensive zone. Works, fires, and it was blocked out in the slot. The Sting will touch up, and another power play. It's opportunity here for the Rockford Hockey Club.
And as we hit on a couple times throughout the first period and even once in the second period, I think Rockford's power play top in the league, almost 30% coming into play after the regular season. 16 power play goals and 54 attempts for Rockford. And we're not at the point where this feels like a must score like Keegan and I were talking about in the last 3 minutes of that last game, but it's getting to that territory. You'd love to get one here on Whitler finally.
Absolutely. It's getting pretty darn close to that. Rockford with 4 power play goals in the playoffs as well. These past couple days, they are hoping to get another one right now as they go to work on the power play. Couldn't quite be kept in there by Caleb Nilsson on the blue line, and that'll force them back. Taden Starks, second in goals and fourth in points through these playoffs is Starks. Turns, fires it, but down on one knee to block it was Brennan Taylor. First clear of this penalty kill for the Sting. Minute 23 left to go in this hockey game. Poked back in by Matthew Koffensteiner. Galloping in his own zone is Jensen Norton. Picking up pace through the neutral zone. He's into the offensive zone. Now it's Norton. Pulls it to the middle. And right there with the left pad pressed up against the post was Richard Whitler. Now here comes Reed. Charging up the Jets. He's in over the right wing side of the Rockford line and ends up just flinging that one down below the goal line. And took some major contact in the process from Caleb Nilsson. That's something we talked about in that second intermission, that this really hasn't been that physical of a hockey game, but as we get later and later and time begins to wind down, emotions starting to run on high, and I imagine we'll see a lot more physical play before the completion of this one. 20 more seconds of power play time for Rockford. It's Hoover galloping through the neutral zone. He'll slap one on goal. That ends up going just high. Working hard on the near side half wall is Nicholas Wilson for Rockford. Puck gets pinned up against the boards. That will run out the power play to an ovation from the Sting benches. That sharp angle shot from St. John rather, was handled by Whitler. Flung all the way down by Cole Maynard for an icing call. And another offensive faceoff coming up here for Rockford. Faceoff to the left wing side of Richard Whitler. In to take it was Kyle Lutschsinger, who lost it, but an excellent keep in there from Norton on the point. Lutschsinger tried a centering pass. He gets it back. Now it's Kyle Lutschsinger. St. John on the point. Wines will fire it. And an excellent shot block there out in front of the goal by Jackson Hucker. Breakout pass was to no one. St. John will fire it back in. Got to be careful there. Richard Whitler was down in the butterfly as that puck sailed just high. Wouldn't want to give up. The first goal of this hockey game for Rockford from a neutral zone attempt. Pass gets sent up. It was Karen Brock who couldn't knock it down in the neutral zone. In on it, though, is Jackson Hucker. Backhanded around the goal by Jensen Norton. Now it's Logan St. John. Hesitating, has the puck taken away. It's Koffensteiner, whose shot went by the side of the goal. Once again, it's Williams. Stick handling in over the Sting line, somehow retained possession of that puck, and his sharp angle shot is shut down by Richard Whitler. Puck squirted out, no whistle there. And taken down on the blue line was Beckett McDonald for the Sting. Not sure if Logan St. John really intended to take him down there to take down McDonald, but had he not done so, would have been McDonald moving in all alone for the Sting. Doesn't matter very much. It was brought back in and by Rockford, and we'll see a face-off now on the left wing side of Richard Whitler with 6:10 left to go in the third period. We're getting down to the wire here. Time begins to tick down for Rockford. Have to get something going in the offensive zone. But now it's McDonald. Spin around centering pass was slapped out of there by Crowley. Now it's Nunez firing it in. Will wrap it around the Sting goal. In on it was Howard, and taken down in the offensive zone was Brady Hampty. Another shot block there to an ovation from the Sting bench. And the Rockford Hockey Club charging things up here in the third period. Starting to get some of those high quality scoring chances that we talked about back in that second period. Really didn't have any until about the second half of period two. But Rockford starting to turn scramble mode on as they have another point shot there that gets patted out by Whitler. Now with pace into the zone was Hoyt, but that one got slapped back out. Nicholas Wilson. Now Nilsson near side. Goes Catawampus into the far side corner. Will come off for a line change. 5 minutes left to go in the third period. Center out on the far side. It's Crowley on the point, slapping it back down low. And that centering try was blocked. Here comes Reed. Gallops through the neutral zone. He's in over the left wing side of the Rockford blue line. Holds up, walks to the middle. It's Reed with a drive. That was knocked down by Hastings. Might have caught a stick out front, but it's still the Sting with the puck in the offensive zone. Kaufensteiner is knocked down far side corner by St. John. And a whistle for a hand pass by the linesman at center ice will slow things down for the St. Louis Sting.
And this is a game that's never felt out of reach at all for Rockford. It feels like a really tight 2-0 game, but at the same time, we're now well under the 5-minute mark. And if it's going to make something happen, now is the time, Logan.
Absolutely. We'll keep an eye to our right-hand side at Owen Hastings and see how aggressive Thomas Breitfuss gets in pulling him out of the net. In over the line is Williams. Trying to snap one on goal. That was met by the block of Ian Havard. And that one gets sent all the way down once again. I have a feeling this will be kind of the theme for the rest of this hockey game. The Sting just looking to take some time off the clock as soon as they get it. Sending it 200 feet down the other way. But now have to deal with a defensive zone face-off. 3:52 left to go in the third period. Lutzinger out there, no surprise at all for the Rockford Hockey Club. On the point, it's Norton. Activating, will send it down low, where it was controlled by Hoover and thrown in front of the goal. But now it's the Sting. Maynard trying to dish it up. Pass that was intended for Terry, but he couldn't control it. Once again, the Sting have iced the puck. These two hockey clubs had a very successful regular season. Only 2 regulation losses for the Sting. 6 regulation losses for Rockford. They split the 4 games that they played this regular season. The latter half of those coming all the way back at the end of November. So it's been quite a while since these two teams have seen each other, but have played a pretty good one here today. The Sting controlling, gets slapped all the way out by Karen Brock, and it was on goal, negating the icing call. St. John's pass could not be found and ends up trickling over to Whitler, who will hold on to it. 3:08 left to go in the third period. Sting still up by 2. Singer still on the ice for the Sting, or for Rockford rather. St. John near side, walks it, fires it, blocker save made by Whitler, and it gets slapped out. St. John near side, flings it in, and it will bounce by the side of the goal. Taylor on the far side sends it up, and it got speared out. Saucer pass at St. John. He's in over the left wing side of the Sting line. Will hold up. A couple quick stick handles. Ends up throwing it on goal. And it went in and out of the glove of Whitler. And once again cleared back out into the neutral zone. Norton will get things going. Sends it up to Hoover. In the middle of the ice, it's sent across, and a big right pad save there is made by Whitler. Here now, moving with pace back the other way is Kafaza, and he will score! Lucas Kafaza with the dagger, his first point of the playoffs. And he takes the Sting up by 3 goals.
How good a feeling is that? And if you listen to the Sting bench about 3 or 4 seconds before that goal was scored, they saw the opportunity right there. They saw their teammate had a breakaway on the left side. It was technically kind of a 1-on-2, but he had a step, and the whole bench saw it about 3-4 seconds before it happened.
Has to feel good. 3-goal lead with 2 minutes left to go in the third period on Championship Sunday. As they say, though, 3 goals is the worst lead in hockey. Rockford still looking to find their first one of this game. As it's Hoyt now with pace, will slap it in on goal. And with urgency, Wilson will get things going. Kearley far side has the puck taken away. Now it's Starks on the red line. Tried to slap it in, but it got blocked. On the far side, it's Owen Crowley. Had it taken away. Minute 16 left to go in regulation time. Nilsson working hard in his defensive zone, near side half wall. Kept it on the point, though, by Hucker. It's the Sting. Centering pass was intended for Colton Dykecamper, but he just couldn't get a stick on it. Slapped up and in by Hucker. Back to get it is Crowley. Less than a minute left to go in the third period. Flung back in by Macheka, and that will get deflected up into the netting. And the Sting know what's coming. Energy is high. Sting already celebrating on their bench. They still have to get through the next 40 seconds. As that faceoff got one back into the neutral zone. Sedig goes high into the air across the ice. Less than 30 left to go. Near side, it's St. John. Had his clearing attempt blocked. Now in the neutral zone, it's Sedig. backhands that one and will bounce on goal and gets brushed aside by Owen Hastings. Already celebrating are the St. Louis Sting. The time will run out. And the St. Louis Sting are your CSDHL U15-16 Red 2 Division champions.
And you notice with no surprise where that entire bench went flocking the minute the buzzer sounded, or maybe 2 seconds before the buzzer sounded, straight for Richard Whitler. I wanted to talk about him a couple minutes ago when we had a minute of downtime, Logan, but decided maybe I should keep my mouth shut just in case they scored a last-second goal, and we heard about it later from Richard when he went back to watch the tape. What a performance from the Sting goalie in a season where he's had plenty of them. That is the one he's going to remember for sure, a championship game shutout.
His 8th shutout of the season, 7 during regular season, 1 comes today on Championship Sunday here at Callan Sports in Romeoville. But Tommy, honestly, when we started off this hockey game, this isn't the outcome that I expected based on the start from the St. Louis Sting. What changed about halfway through that first period for them?
You know what? I think it was simple. I think they were really able to get the puck on net in positions where they had a great chance to actually put it past the goaltender. When you see the discrepancy in shots, you know, Rockford had 36 shots. We talked about a lot of the ones they had in the first period, rather. They counted as shots on goal, but they were not difficult chances for Whitler. The Sting were maybe a little bit more patient and didn't have quite as many chances, but it was high-quality scoring opportunities for St. Louis. You saw Rockford put together plenty of those in the second half of the game, and Whitler was very much up to the task, however.
Whitler definitely was. Owen Hastings, though, really played well through an onslaught of offensive opportunities thrown his way from the Sting. Kept most of those out of the net, but you can't really fault him with that. The Sting team who really knows how to put the puck in the back of the net.
Yeah, you certainly can't. And with that, we have the presentation of the second place banner to the Rockford Hockey Club, and Nelson, their captain. In a moment here, we will have the presentation of the banner to the league champion Sting. We'll have the individual recognition now of the Sting players coming up first. And we will send it down to the ice for the recognition.
Players, please come up one by one to receive your hat.
Well, what a game here at Callan and Romeoville. Sting win it 3-0. Scoring recap on the day real quick before we send it out. Miko Koffensteiner had the first one way back in the first period for the Sting, followed by Jackson Hucker. And then in that third period, the button on that was scored by Lucas Kafaza. Tommy, a really great game all around, but Sting obviously played better for the most part. Any final thoughts?
My thoughts are that was a lot closer than even a 3-0 score. Rockford was in that game the whole way, as you'd expect from two teams that had such outstanding regular seasons, have looked so good over the last couple days. I know the Sting will be really excited to be able to take that first place banner back to St. Louis with them, but Rockford should be very proud of the season they had, the way they competed today, too.
They absolutely should. It was a hard-fought battle either way, but the St. Louis Sting will emerge victorious. We'd like to thank all of you for tuning in right here live on the Sports Broadcast Solutions Network. I want to thank Zach Stolpa for operating the camera for us today. Tommy Gilbert for joining me up in here in the booth and technical directing at the same time. My name is Logan Kapp. Sting win it. We'll catch you all on the next one.